Hello and welcome back to Suspended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Betholkis, and this is The Wheel of Time, Season 1, Episode 5, Blood Calls Blood. Welcome, everybody. Let me take care of some business first, and then we'll get down to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the videos pop up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible. So one of the videos, my vast video library, pops up there just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. If you can, hit that like button, the share button as well. Also, if you don't want to be notified when I'm going to be on live again next, you hit that bell down below. It's a 100% chance that YouTube won't notify you when I come on live. So best thing to do is go to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it out every week. Also have all the links to my social media on there and all the links to my pages as well. All right. So let's get into it, shall we? Spoiler alert, I am going to spoil the episode. If you have not seen the episode, go and watch it. Come on back. This will be a video, and you can comment down below in the comment section. All right. Giving you enough time to hit the pause button, walk away, all that kind of good stuff. All right. So yeah, we had a lot going on in this episode. Well, it's basically an aftermath from episode 4. So we start with a funeral and we end with a funeral in this episode. And we also time jump a little bit as well, which goes without saying when you're walking on foot. Thank God they didn't go to the Lord of the Rings version of this and show it all in real time. So at least, so you saw the aftermath of, the Karen getting buried. Kieran, there we go. Stefan, of course, mourning her as well. And, they bury all the bodies of what Logain had, and his followers had done and killed, their group. And then it jumps a month ahead, and everyone is all at the same time. They're all going into Tarvalon, where the White Tower is, and everyone just seems to be arriving all at the same time. All these different groups, except for Perrin and Egwin, who are with, of course, the Tinkers, and they move a lot slower, and they get held up by the White Coats. And the White Coats, you get, and I'm always gonna murder his name, Aemon. Uh, Oops, hang on, just one second. Aemon. Oh man, there we go. Valda. Aemon Valda. All these weird names I need to learn. So that's the whole thing. So Aemon Valda, of course, recognizes them from when he first met them on the road, and he captures them and, of course, decides to torture them because he's pretty sure that she's got some powers, and he goes, one of you two are going to die, so you just need to figure out which one is going to die. And Egwin, of course, shows a little bit of drawing in the one, and he says, I knew it. And she uses it to set Perrin free after Aemon has been digging into his back with a knife, and Perrin wolfs out pretty much and freaks the shit out of Aemon, and then, of course, Egwin knifes him, and then the wolves take care of the rest, and they're able to get out there. Yes, he did insist on calling it. That's his title is Chilled Valda. Yeah, but his name is Aemon Valda, is what that is. So yeah, and he's part of the Children of the Night, or Children of the Light. Excuse me, Children of the Light. Children of the Night is actually vampire. What's his name? Dracula's brood. In the meantime, Stefan is getting ready to be bonded to a different Aes Sedai, and he's still really mourning, of course, Karen, and not doing a good job of all of this. In the meantime, as well, we've got Nynaeve, not Nynaeve, Nynaeve, Nynaeve. I never know how to pronounce her fucking name. I swear to God, even though I hear it, I don't hear it. Nynaeve. So she's essentially being held captive in the White Tower, if you will, by Moraine, And, of course, Lilandra comes by and goes, "You're free of your cage. Go off. Library's that way. Garden's over there. If you need something to eat, just go into the kitchen." Basically just, lets her have the run of the house. But also we find out that the Red don't have warders, and mainly because they don't like men, uh, is what this comes down to. And we also find out that the leader of the Aes Sedai, the Amerlon, Amerlin. There we go. Again, I fuck up names, even normal names, and this is just going to be a problem for me. You're going to have to bear with me on all of that. So the Amerlin doesn't like Moraine, and Lilandrin is going through and basically gathering support to replace the Amerlin. And there might be some factions that want Moraine to take over that spot instead, but Moraine likes, you know, moving around and being a leaf on the wind, if you will. So there's politics going on there. And Rand and Matt are in the city as well, but Rand does not want to take Matt over to the White Tower because of what Thom said. Thom said, if he has any kind of link to the One, which obviously he does, they're going to gentle him and it's not going to be pretty. Um, and so, of course, he doesn't want to do that. And so they're staying in the city, but kind of staying away from the White Tower. And of course, Rand ends up meeting an Ogier, not an ogre, but an Ogier. And it's kind of like Igor instead of Igor. And that's loyal. There we go. I think Thom is still alive as well. Yes, I don't think he's dead. I agree with you, Raymond. I don't think he's dead. They said he's dead, but I'm fairly sure he's not. He'll pop back up again because we didn't see the body, so that's the reason why I think he's alive. Um, yeah. So the Ogier mistakes Rand for an ale, basically a red-haired one of the creatures that that Rand was talking to Matt about in a story 2 episodes back. And we all know that's what's going to be the case, is that Rand is actually part of these his mom probably was. Yeah, so it's going to come down the pike. It's foreshadowing is what it's called. Also, they're hanging out when the false dragon is being brought into the city by, of course, the Moraine's group, and all Moraine and Lilandra's group, of course. And Matt hallucinates, I guess, the dragon or the false dragon laughing, Logain laughing at Logain. There we go. Laughing at him as he's being taken through the city streets, but I think he was just hallucinating it. And also, as a blink and you miss it, a little scene of someone in the side stalls that was laughing, and it was the dude from the very first episode, Padan Fane is his name, who we saw in the mountain village in the very first episode, and he was kind of holding back when the Trollocs were going through and rampaging through the village. He was laughing, if you remember correctly, during that first episode. So obviously he's got to be one of the dark friends, right? Or friends of the dark one or something like that, whatever. He's got a little membership and a decoder ring and all that kind of shit. So yeah. Raymond says the Ogier was a great new character. He's like, yeah, he's a librarian. Raymond is what I look at. He's the one that has all the knowledge, and he's also the one that finds Nynaeve, brings her over to the inn so she could take a look at Matt, who snaps at her, and she's like, well, can't do shit because he won't let me touch him. So just go ahead and go to sleep, motherfucker, is what she says to him. And Stefan, of course, ends up getting some sleep aid, some sleepy time tea from Nynaeve, and drugs Lon so that he can go and kill himself in the Hall of the Great Warders, is what he does, instead of bonding with another Aes Sedai. So yeah, we got a whole bunch of stuff going on in all of this mess here. And yeah, there's like I said, everyone is now in or near the city, if you will. And yeah, except for Perrin and Egwin, they're running around someplace outside the outskirts of the city at this point. And they're all going through their own little turmoil, if you will. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next episodes, because we only have 3 episodes left. We've got 6, 7, 8. That's it. We only have 3 episodes left. We'll see what happens. I enjoyed this. It was good. It moved along, even though, and a lot of people are going to go, well, there's no action to it. Well, yeah, they're still world building. I mean, it's the first season, for Christ's sake. I mean, let them world build at this point. They're actually doing a good job of world building. It's not boring, one, and it's not basically it's not done in a shitty way. Let's just say, yeah. Yeah, Daniel Henney is his name. Yeah, he did a good job as Lan at the funeral. The uh, Yeah, and the whole thing where Moraine actually is talking to the other Sedai, and she says, I've heard there is a way to sever the link, the bond between a warder and the Aes Sedai that they're bonded to. And she's like, the other Aes Sedai is like, no, you don't want to do that kind of shit, which obviously means it's probably part of the Dark Ones. And we also find out that the Children of the Light look at magic as all magic coming from the Dark One. It's not coming from the one or light magic, but that this magic is all coming from the dark one. So now we kind of have a little bit more of their mindset of why they are killing all these people. But also, you know, um, Valda is just a sadistic little fuck, is all he is. That's all that's going on there. He's just a little sadistic fuck. He likes to have his dinner and a show at the same time. So yeah, by carving people up with the same knife that he uses to eat meat with. But but yeah, I do love the wolves going in and tearing up some white coats. It needed to happen. It really did. Especially after they beat up the Tinkers a little bit there when Illa stood up to them and they link arms and they're singing Kumbaya, and then of course the white coats start beating the shit out of them. But yeah, interesting to see. I'm fairly sure that Matt is under the influence of whatever that knife is that he took, and all he needs to do is get rid of that knife, and everything will be better. I did read something interesting, and I didn't see it. I have to go back and take a look. But when they were in the city, when those shadows were coming in and going towards the horses and everything, supposedly one of the shadows looked like Padan Thane. So obviously he's a bigger deal than what this is. Raymond says, I'm still kind of shady on the protagonist of the show. What does the Dark One want? Um, the antagonist, yes, the antagonist. That's a good question, Raymond. I don't know either. They're still doing so much world building that they haven't gotten to the actual story. Um, I and that and you know what? It's actually I'm okay with that for right now, because I mean, sure they kind of said, "Hey, this is why we need these people," and then they go, "But let's put that on the back burner for right now because we're going to introduce you to all these different characters, different worlds, all this kind of stuff, just to kind of get you up to speed." And then we'll go back to the story and say, what he wants. What we don't even know what the Aes Sedai want with the dragon either. So we don't know if they are going to gentle the dragon, if they are going to help the dragon, or what's going to happen. We really don't know what their motive is. So it's kind of blurry on both what the Dark One wants and what the Aes Sedai want to do with the dragon. We know what Lilandra wants to do, or and am I saying her Lilandrin? Yeah, Liliandrin. There we go. Liliandrin. Sorry, I was murdering that all that time. So I know someone's gonna mention it in the comments. I know I fuck up names. That's what I do. Sorry. Um, if they had names like John or Sue or something like that, it'd be a little easier for me. But yeah. Um, but anyway, yes, I know it's kind of white bread, but hey, that's what happens. Um, So yeah, Liliandrin is she just wants to gentle pretty much everybody. Any guy that's got some powers, or even if it has the hint of powers, or like fuck you, gentle him. Yeah. And as she told Nynaeve, she said, "Hey, even though women have the power, of the one, The men actually have all the other power, in the world as well, and they are especially cruel to little girls, is what she said. So obviously, something happened to her when she was a little girl, something pretty bad, and she just wants to burn a whole bunch of different men down. So there we go. We learned a little bit about everybody pretty much throughout this entire thing. We also learned that Moraine does not have any kind of her room in the White Tower is pretty much empty. It's Spartan. She has no decorations in that room whatsoever, and which means she doesn't hang out there. And obviously, she doesn't care. She likes roaming around. She even told Lon, you know, that her home is her clothing, her boots, and just roaming around outside. And that's what she likes to do. Raymond says, "So what's up with Nynaeve's powers? Is she the one? We don't know. We know that she is connected to the one, to the one power, but we don't. I don't know if she's the dragon. We just know that she's connected to the power. She's got the power. She's got the power. That's a different thing altogether. And I apologize to all of you who heard that song for just a second come out of my mouth. I should not wish that on anybody. So, looking forward to next week. I'm just as interested as everyone else is where this is going. Like I said, I haven't read the books. I'm not going to read the books. I'm just going by what they are giving us at this point, and I'm interested in where we're going on all of this. I'm along for the ride, shall we say. And it's not boring, it's interesting. Uh it's got my attention. It really does. I watched this thing at really early in the morning, let's just say before work. And I stayed awake through it. So, for an hour long show, that could be boring. That's saying a lot right there. Especially when there's an entire different world and you need to learn all the different names. And obviously, I murder names like, you know, Jack the Ripper at this point. So, yes, I am the Jack the Ripper of names. I really am. Sorry. It's not that I don't try to know what these names are. It's just my head is a sieve sometimes with names. And yeah, I have notes, literally notes sitting in front of me here that you can't see below here. That's why every now and then I'm looking at it, and I don't have my glasses on either, so that's even as horrible as it is. Raymond says my friend read the books and says they are doing a good adaptation. Cool. All right, that's good to know. And I wanted to say thank you to all the new people that are coming in and subscribing and leaving comments and stuff like that. Please leave comments. Correct me on any of this stuff if you will. Just as long as we're going by the series. I'm trying not to delve into the book territory because usually when you start going into the book territory, the show will take a right turn on you and will shift off, and go in a different direction. And then you're like, well, fuck, they didn't put this part in the book. They skipped over that. We don't want to go down that road. I've never read the books, like I said, so I'm going by what the series is showing me and telling me at this point. And I'm okay with that. I like what's going on there. But please, yeah, go down in the comment section down there and, you know, type away. I'll respond back. Or I might just, thumbs up you or heart you or something like that. You'll see it. I do respond. With that said, what else do I have going on this week? Well, funny you should ask. Tomorrow is going to be Saturday morning blast off where I take the genre news of the weekend and the genre stuff you guys want to talk about when we talk about it. I had to cancel last weekend, but I'll be up there today. Sunday I'll be off. Monday will be another episode of Spoiler Alert, and basically anything that is out in the general public you guys want to talk about and you want to talk spoilers about it, we can do that. We can talk spoilers. That's fine with me. Tuesday is going to be another episode of Is It Worth My Time? And it's going to be Lost in Space on Netflix, season 3 of Lost in Space, the final season of Lost in Space, because Netflix is canceling after season 3. We'll talk about that because it just hit Wednesday is when it dropped. It dropped on Wednesday. on Netflix. Wednesday, speaking of next Wednesday, is going to be Hawkeye. We're going to do Hawkeye, episode four of Hawkeye. Thursday, I'll be off, and Friday will be another episode of The Wheel of Time, episode 6. 6 out of 8. So there we go. We go all the way back around again. So thank you to everybody who joined me today in the chat. Well, I think it's Raymond. There's other people that are out there that are lurking. Don't be afraid. You guys can actually post stuff in the chat. We don't, bite or anything like that. What about The Expanse? The Expanse is on the 10th. That's right. Oh, that's right. It's at the same time of Wheel of Time, isn't it? Let me take a look at my calendar here. Yeah, you know what? I believe I am going to be doing a double header on that day. So the 10th is going to be probably a double header. I have to think about that one because I believe that they are dropping the first 2 episodes of The Expanse on the 10th, and I have to take a look at my book that I've got someplace over that way and see what I wrote down because I actually did plan it out. I really did. And you'll see it up on the schedule. If you take a look at the schedule, if you go to, and this is a perfect segue. Thank you, Raymond. If you want to know, best thing to do is go over suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule. I put it up there. I change it out every week. Also, I have all the links to my social media on there and all the links to my pages on there as well. And if you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up there just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. Also, if you can, hit that like button, the share button as well. And if you don't want to be notified, best thing to do is hit that bell, and YouTube won't notify you when I come on live. So go over to suspendedfanimation.com. That's where the schedule's at. It's only 6 episodes. Yes, the final season of The Expanse is only 6 episodes. Season 6 is only going to be 6 episodes long. There we go. If I can actually get that out of my mind. Season 6 of The Expanse is 6 episodes long. They're going to drop the first 2 episodes, and then they're going to do every Friday thereafter. Let me go over to Suspended Fanimation because I have this little thing called future stuff, which for some reason I didn't put Lost in Space on there. So that's just because I had a brain fart and I forgot to do it. December 10th. Yes, that is a Friday. So they're going to do the first 2 episodes, and then they're going to do 1 episode every Friday after that. So, yeah. And I know I have it planned out. I just need to get to my book at some point, but it's in a backpack over in that end of the complex of the studio. Yeah, because this is a gigantic freaking studio. You can't see all the different people with the camera in the back there. And yeah, say hi, Mr. Cameraman. It's just a laptop. Is really all it is. So with that said, I'm going to let you guys go for the night. Thank you, everybody. I will see you again tomorrow for Saturday morning blast off. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, you may have a child of the light carving into your back with a fucking dinner knife because he's bored and he wants dinner and a show. So, what else is he going to do? Thanks, everybody. I'll see you again tomorrow. Until then, stay safe, be well, take care. Wear those masks, get those vaccine shots, and get those flu shots as well if you can. I will see you again tomorrow. Stay safe out there. Take care and be well. Thanks, everybody. Have a good rest of your night. See you tomorrow.